an amazing voyage or amazing journey in search of truth. And I am going to tell you how I found my way along the path of life to finding out that there is only one God, that there is only one way, and that is in Islam. So the main reason I submitted my will to Allah is because this is what I was supposed to do from the day I was born. It just took me a long time to realize it. All the teachings that I was giving, all these thick hundreds and hundreds of doctrines that I had been following, were actually doing everything there was possible to prevent me from submitting to Allah. So when I started to peel away all the nonsense, and I saw Allah as pure, and I realized that everything that I do on my own is going to fail. Everything that I do with Allah's permission will succeed.
Do we have a question from the sisters section, please?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Areeb. My name is Dipali and I'm working as a manager with one of the MNCs in Pune. I'm a recent revert to Islam and I took my Shahada at this peace conference. I have chosen the right religion. Jazakallah. I know I have chosen the right religion, however, I'm scared how to open up this truth to my family and to people who are a part of my life. Because though India is a democratic country and we can choose our own religion, still people make it difficult for you as they are very much interested into what religion do you follow. My question is it okay to open up the truth to family and friends looking at the situation around you? Jazakallah.
Jazakallah for the question. That's a very good question. And that's what I'm saying is you have to look at the culture and the environment that you live in. Now, in South Africa, there were consequences to me just coming out and saying to everybody, listen, I'm a Muslim. I have been shot at. I've had poison given to me. My brother is here. He can vouch for it. He's Mulana from South Africa. He came all the way to support me today. And he will vouch for you. He knows I've been poisoned by Christians. I've had many terrible things done to me. So there's a price to pay to admitting that you're a Muslim. Things are going to happen. However, what we can do, and the advice I'd give you, is do things in gradualism. Islam is a gradualism. If you want to sum up Islam in one word, it's gradualism. Islam is a slow, gradual process from stage to stage. The Quran was revealed stage to stage. The laws that were given in the Quran were revealed stage by stage. Remember that the early Muslims, they would come to mosque drunk. And later they were told this is haram, and stage by stage things were changed. Now when it comes to doing dawah to your family or telling your family members or friends, do the same thing. Go from stage to stage. Give them one pearl of the sunnah every time you see them. Give them one piece of information each time you see them. So don't give them the whole package one day. They're going to reject it or they're going to fight against it. But if you can give them a little bit of information each day. Last night I had the privilege of meeting a Hindu brother, a very, very sincere, loving man with a very sincere heart. And I didn't try to give the 5-minute dawah. You know the 5-minute dawah, quickly, you must take the shahada. There's some people that write on a blackboard, they write La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and they say, I want to teach you something, read this. And the people read it and they say, you're a Muslim. You don't make a Muslim that way. It takes a long time. You need to do things from stage to stage. And the same thing when you're doing dawah. There's no right and wrong route. There's not a 5-minute dawah. Sometimes a 5-minute dawah works. I've been into a hospital room where I walk into the room, and before I even say hello, before I even say as-salam to the people, they say, I want to become a Muslim. So sometimes it happens that way, sometimes it doesn't. You must also remember that everybody's book is written. Your story is written. Everybody's life story is written in the book. And so we cannot change what Allah has predestined, what He has planned. So when you're doing dawah, we don't have to sign the deal. We don't have to close the deal. All our job is to tell the person, to convey the message. Doesn't mean you stop and you say, well, I did it once, there I've done my job. Your job is to continue all the time, never to stop. But the main thing is that do it slowly, do it gradually, give one piece of information at a time. Remember that when dawah was done to me, the woman, what did she do? She told me one thing only. She didn't tell me about praying or anything. All she said is, do you know that God is one? That sunk into my head. I had dreams about this woman telling me God is one. She was in my nightmare. We even nicknamed her God is one. When we used to go to the shop, I'd say to my brother Shaheen, I'd say to him, you go to God is one, I'll see you later, I'm not coming in there. So did it work? Yes. All she did was drop one thing. So your job is not to Islam onto people, it's to just give them one thing at a time. Go gradually, in gradualism. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
We have a question from the brothers section.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Alaikum salam.
My name is Talat Ansari. I am from Nagpur. I am a networking faculty. In Quran, Allah says the best and the right way is Islam in chapter number 3 and verse number 19. This word Islam exists in Quran in the language in which Quran was revealed, that is Arabic. Does the word Christianity or the Christian exist in Bible in the language which Bible was revealed? I don't know in which language Bible was revealed. Does Christianity exist in Bible in which language Bible was revealed?
Okay, that's a very long question. I can give you a 25-minute talk just on that question. The word Christianity is a derogatory word. In my country, the word kufr is almost forbidden from being said. Because South Africa, the word kufr has a negative connotation. It has a connotation to racism. That's what the black people were called by the Afrikaans oppressors in our country. And so we have to be very careful. That word is a negative connotation, it has a negative feeling. In fact, if you say that word to somebody in the street, they'll probably hit you or lock you up or you'll go to jail. Because you can't say that, unless you say it in a sentence got to do with Islam, you can't use that as a negative word. Now, the word Christian was used in exactly the same way in biblical times. If you had to walk past a person and you say, Christian, he would have stoned you or killed you. Don't you dare call me a Christian. You're swearing at me. That was the worst thing you could say to somebody, is the word Christian. Yet today people have banners and they say, I'm a Christian, I'm Christian. It's a word that is derogatory. That's why I say, Shaitan, as quickly as possible, he got into Christianity to deceive them. He changed the day that they were supposed to worship to a Sunday. Why Sunday? Because it was the day of veneration of the sun, to the sun god, to worship the sun god. And people say, no, you guys you're not reading it right. It's got nothing to do with the sun god. Then how come every picture, every diagram, every statue that you have in Christianity has the sun behind the head of any of their deities? Every picture that you see of Jesus, every picture, they overlap the sun god and the S-O-N of God into one God. And they said, this is a way we can convince the people to believe in our religion. So they have deformed it and they defiled it. So the word Christianity does not exist. And it's found in the book of Acts, yes, it's found in the book of Acts, in the Bible, but it's used to speak negatively of them. So even the word Bible is not founded. The Bible does not identify itself and say, I am the Bible. There's no verse that says, I am the Bible, here I am, I identify myself, where the Quran identifies itself. So I hope that answers some of the questions.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah khair. Do we have another question from the sisters section, please?
Assalamu alaikum. I am Hareem Chaudhary, currently graduating in psychology and English literature. My question is, in the course of your talk you said that doubt is the worst type of disease. Which type of doubt do you think is the worst one? The one that arises due to lack of knowledge, or the one which is caused by knowledge? Jazakallah khair.
Doubt is doubt. Whether it's doubt by too much knowledge or it's doubt without knowledge. There's a saying that says, the more you know, the more you're answerable for. So for all the men in the front row here, the more you know, the more you're answerable for. The further back you are, and those who are not listening and they're playing on their cell phones or whatever, you're less answerable because you haven't been listening properly. So for a da'i who knows what he's supposed to do, a student, say he's been to Medina and he studied there for 7 years, he's more answerable because he got more knowledge. You understand? So the more you know, the more you're answerable for. However, you're also answerable for what you don't know because you have the knowledge to find out more. If you're driving down the road and you crash your car into another car and the policeman comes to you and he says, why did you do that? You say, I didn't know. He's going to say, where did you get your license? If you didn't know, it's your fault because you had a license. You're supposed to know the road signs. You're supposed to know all these things. So it's our job as Muslims to find out that knowledge, to continuously acquire knowledge. And Allah knows best. So we cannot say that somebody is going to be judged more than the other because we don't know. Allah knows best. But it's our duty. If you're here today, it's our job and our duty to acquire knowledge never ever to stop. However, doubt when it comes in is going to corrode that knowledge that you have. It's going to eat away that knowledge. When it comes to Islamic studies and comes to Islamic knowledge or knowledge of the Quran, knowledge of the Hadith, it will never create doubt in you, because what it does is it helps you to grow. It's like sunshine and water and earth. It helps you to grow. These combinations are perfect. So doubt is only going to come in if you have not been taught properly. If somebody is teaching you stuff that is extra, doubt will come in. Of course doubt will come in. When people say that you can go there and you can do this and you can do that, and it's got nothing to do with the Quran and Sunnah, of course that doubt's going to come in. You're going to say, but this doesn't sound Quranic to me. This doesn't sound like what a Muslim should do. That is doubt, and you should find out where that comes from. When anyone ever tells you in Islam, this is what you must do, say, can you please show me? Do not be afraid. If somebody tells you this is what the Quran says, can you ask them to show you? If they tell you that you're not allowed to do this, ask them to show you. Okay. I had a question while I was in India. This is the first time this question's come to me. Somebody asked me, when you shake hands with someone, are you allowed to shake with one hand or both hands? And this was the problem. They were being told that you cannot put another hand over a hand. So these are things that people are asking. So you need to ask them, can you show me the verse, show me the ayah, show me the hadith that mentions anything like that. Don't just believe anything everyone tells you. You must have faith, but faith must be is dependent on fact. Faith is not dependent on a mystery. It's dependent on fact. You show the evidence. If I tell you that this is how a human is formed in embryo, we can show you from the Quran where it says that. We don't just say, oh, we don't know, it's faith. We have evidence. And so faith is dependent on evidence. I think I did this illustration the other day. This chair here, it doesn't take much faith to sit on it, because I know the evidence in front of me. It looks stable. It feels stable. I can touch it. I know it's stable. I sit on it with knowledge. That's only faith that's required. Christian faith is thinking that there's a chair there and there's nothing there, and you fall. There has to be evidence. I hope that answers your question.
Jazakallah khair.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Yusuf Estes, and you're watching Peace TV.
And we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then is there any that will receive admonition? Learn the language of the Creator's last testament in Learning Quranic Arabic every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Saudi Arabia and 6 p.m. UAE on Peace TV. Stories of glories. Often that three fought the pangs of poverty by selling gowns at 13. His blindness did not stop his unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Propagated virtues, prevented vice with decisions unchallenged. He is Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah bin Baz, former Grand Mufti of Saudi.
Where truth is hidden, misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth, and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch Truth Prevail and Lies Perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik. Next on Peace TV.
Next question from the brothers.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Hussain Ansari. I am a legal advisor. My question to you is, sir, in your talk you said, after talking to 20 to 25 minutes, various persons of various religion except Islam, you were able to convince them that Christianity is the right religion. Now, after you becoming a Muslim, did you convey the message to your parents and have they reverted? And one more, did you went back to the church where you used to work, and did you convey the message to them also?
Very, very good question, and yes and yes. Both answers are yes. The first thing I did is I went to my family members and I told them. This was the decision that we decided to do, both of us collectively, my brother and myself, we to do it immediately. But what happened is we had two reactions. One is my one cousin reverted, my son reverted. So immediately we had reversions taking place that same day within the family. The negative was that I had my sister who decided to become a total jihadi, but a Christian jihadi, and she was totally against it. In fact, she wrote me off, and her church group and her group have actually created a whole website just for me, so I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm very proud of myself. And it's called baptistjihad.com. Strangely enough, baptistjihad.com went offline 2 days before this conference started. So if you want to look, you can go into the internet, you can type in baptistjihad.com, and you'll see that this is a website that says it's okay to murder Muslims. It's okay to hate Muslims. This is what Christians are saying. So if you think that, people always say that the Muslims are extremists, you just have to look at some of these crazy Christians and you'll see what they're doing. So yes, I did do dawah to them. Many people did revert. Even in my church, people reverted. People are still reverting, but it's not what I have said. It's just by showing them what the Quran says, or what the authentic hadith say, showing them the practices, being a living example, because we are all examples. Allah doesn't need an advert. He doesn't need adverts to advertise. However, we are the adverts whether we like it or not. People are looking at us all the time. I had dogs that used to bark, and people said to me, you call yourself a Muslim, but your dogs are barking. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but that's how people are. They look at us and they try and find any excuse to not accept Islam because of the way we act. Now, recently, people say, well, I'll become a Muslim if you answer these 20 questions. If you answer those 20 questions, they bring you another 20. And it'll continue and continue until that person's heart is ready. Then they'll embrace Islam. It's not how clever your answers are. It's not how intelligent you are. It's when Allah prepares their hearts. Then they will become a Muslim. So yes, I have done dawah to my family and friends, and I still continue to. My mother embraced Islam just before she passed away. So I've had success there, inshallah.
Brother, since you are from South Africa, Sheikh Ahmed Deedat had a book, The Desert Storm Has Is Ended. I don't find that book anywhere here in Bombay, and I want to distribute that book to my Christian brothers. So if I can get from where, if I can ask you from where I can get that book, so I can distribute it.
If anybody wants Qurans, books, publications, anything like that, you're welcome to talk to me afterwards. Inshallah, I'll make sure you get them. We have a lot of books. We have a new book that we've just printed called Amazing Journeys in Search of Truth, which is the story of all different people who have reverted to Islam. People that have reverted in South Africa, people who have reverted in America, people from all over, all new stories of people that have reverted, and some of the old classic stories as well of people. And these are things that are really good dawah tools, because you just give that to somebody, and that really works. And inshallah, on Peace TV, I'm doing a series on how to do dawah to Christians, but the ones that will work successfully. I mean, everybody's written a book, and everyone's got stories on how to do dawah to Christians. Now, if I give a book, like an Islamic book, to a Christian, he's going to throw it away. If I give him a Quran, he will throw it away. If I give him any Islamic literature, he'll throw it away. However, we found a new way of doing it where you won't throw it away. We give him a Bible. We give him a Bible of his own choosing. And what we do is we mark the entire Bible with all the questions in the Bible. We highlight all the areas. There's something like about 3,000 questions in there. And we give it back to him. He cannot throw it away, because he won't throw the Bible away. And that way, he will read through it, and he's forced to answer those questions. And so there's many ways of doing dawah. So get as much information as possible, get as many books as you can, but the best way is actually to tune into the series that I'm going to be doing on how to mark your Bible, so that you give it to Christians to read.
Jazakallah khair. Can we have another question from the sisters section, please?
Assalamu alaikum. This question is from Sister Sharmeen Khan, who's a homemaker. She's come from Bangladesh. She would like to know if there's a website or some email where she can watch or listen to your lecture today on my transition to Islam.
I don't really have any websites like of my story or anything, but obviously you can get the DVD through Peace TV. I'm sure they will have the DVD available. My story is printed in this new book, The Amazing Journeys in Search of Truth, that book that we've just finished publishing. My story is in there, so you could get the book. And then there's a website that you can go to, my personal website, which is not my personal website, but the work I do in South Africa in the hospitals. You can go to that website. It's muchas.co.za. Muchas like in muchas gracias, thank you. muchas.co.za.
Jazakallah.
Next question from the brothers, please.
Respected Areeb Islam Sahib, Assalamu alaikum, and to audience also. My name is G. Nabi Lone. I am from state of Jammu and Kashmir. I congratulate Your Excellency for accepting the Islam. My question is this, that here in our country, very recently, in one of our states, a minister befriended another very exceptionally glamorous lady, and both stalked into the lands of Islam and accepted thereafter Islam, and our ulamas, without doubting them, guided them how to do. What followed thereafter is history. My question is regarding how to, because we face the matters on grassroots level, how to understand the faculty of the doubt of the people who want to convert themselves into Islam by disguise or by attainment of their personal benefits. This is up to ulamas only, who have to understand this problem, how this can be overcome and understood.
Yeah, it's almost like a political question and a sociology question and a social question all in one. And I don't think I'm really the right person to answer the political and social issues that you need to take up with your politicians in your area and your representatives in your area. But I can tell you how we can improve our hearts. And we can improve our hearts by changing ourselves first. You know, many times we want to tell somebody else how to change, and we look at them and you say, he's not doing this right, and she's not doing that right, and they're not doing it right. We must stop looking at other people, because that shows already that there's something wrong with ourselves. The first step in transition, the first step in change, is to change ourselves. Nelson Mandela in South Africa, when he came out of prison after being oppressed by the apartheid government, by white people like myself or my culture, he came out and the first thing he did was shake hands with a white person. And he went and had tea with a white person. And he spoke the language of the oppressor. And he changed his heart first. And immediately it melted the people around him. The worst woman in South Africa, who was the biggest racist of all racists, that's the very person he went and had tea with. When he came out of jail, he went straight and sat at her house with her husband, and they drank tea together. So what did we learn from him is that he changed himself first. And you saw how it's ripple effect through the whole of South Africa. Today, racism, yes, it's still there. Prejudice will always be there. But to the degree that it is now, it's nothing compared to what it was before. The result, the magic formula, the change was that he decided to change himself first inside, and it ripple affected off to everybody else. So to change somebody else, change yourself. If that person is going to be poison for you, remember in the talk that I gave on Tuesday, I said, poison is still poison, even if it hasn't got poison on the label. So if people are in your life that are poisonous for you, who are bad for you, then you stay away from them. But now don't be arrogant and think that you're more than they are, and so walk past them and say, well, I'm too good for you, I'm sorry, I can't speak to you. You say to them, I'm on a different path to you. I'm going in a different direction. You're not lying. If somebody wants to take you on a bad path and you want to go on the right path, you say, I can't speak with you today, I'm going in a different direction. He thinks you're talking about going to change, leave it. You are going in a different direction. Don't let them pull you down. So change yourself, and the others will change around. They will see the change in you, and they'll want to be like you. They'll want to emulate you. So that's my answer.
Thank you, sir.
Jazakallah khair. I'm afraid we've run out of time now. There's no more time for questions. So Jazakallah khair, everybody, for listening, and Jazakallah khair for the brother for a fascinating talk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
The ambassadors of peace from different parts of the world who dedicated their lives to convey the message of peace came together at the grand 10-day peace conference in Mumbai with one vision, with one mission. Hundreds of thousands of people witnessed them, heard them. Now it's an opportunity for those who miss the live action.
I welcome all of you with Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Watch them again in Peace Mission every Saturday to Thursday at 11 p.m. Saudi Arabia and 12 a.m. UAE on Peace TV. Let's come under the shade of the scholars.
So the issue is a problem of knowledge.
Asim Al-Hakim.
Why do people do bid'ah?
Imam Malik said, whoever claims there is a good innovation in the deen,
Salim Al-Amri.
he is accusing that Prophet Muhammad did not convey the message.
Dr. Mamdouh Muhammad.
If you know that the Prophet ﷺ did something and I do something else, you have to follow the Prophet ﷺ. Don't follow me.
Abdul Rahim McCarthy.
But if each one believes his goal is to please Allah, to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Abdul Rahim Green.
I think this really is to do with your internal state.
Where does the Quran and Sunnah point to?
Muhammad Al-Sharif.
They have to follow what Allah and His Messenger said.
Let's imbibe from these scholars the fruitful solutions for the problems of the world.
Which one we would take and which one we would leave?
Question to every Muslim.
In the shade of the scholars, every Wednesday and Friday